Well, welcome to the Snark Lounge. And yes, Burbex said I do look like a steamship captain. It's possibly true. We're going to go ahead and bring our guest on here. First, of course, is my lovely better half. So everybody say hello to Bunny. Bunny's joining us from Hong Kong today. Can you hear me? So, all right. She seems to be frozen. I love the face, though.
What?
Awesome. Oh, were you muted?
Hello? I cannot
Hello.
hear anyone else.
There we go.
I cannot hear anything. I cannot see anyone.
Oh, we can hear you.
I'm in the show.
You are in the show. We can hear you. All right.
Let me text.
Everyone remembers last week, everybody's favorite policeman. It's
Hello.
Captain Burbex.
Permission to come aboard, Captain.
Oh, for permission granted, yes. So I think we both had the same idea with the tie today.
Yeah, we're looking very smart today. We're going to run a tight ship on this show today, I think.
Absolutely.
Maybe we can make some people walk the plank too, if they misbehave. Mm-hmm.
I like where you're going with that. Definitely. Yeah. All right. Let's welcome all the way from Paris, the man, the myth, the legend. It's George's.
Hello, guys.
Bonjour, George.
Bonjour. I should have put on the tie today. I didn't know you were like, oh, wow. Like Winston style today, you know?
Winston style.
Yeah, he does look kind of Winston-esque. So, and we have a secret guest today. Secret guest coming to us all the way from Dongguan. It's Kung Fu Adam.
Hey, everybody. Nice to see you. I came a little underdressed.
So, and apparently, Bunny dropped off. Let's get her back here. There she is.
Hi.
So, hi.
Sorry, I was in a VPN. I didn't realize that I cannot see everything.
So
there she is.
So she seems like she's moving in slow motion. I know the internet's a little better in Hong Kong than that.
I slow motion like that.
It works.
So we have Kung Fu Adam in the house.
What's up, everybody? Nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
He's got the microphone that makes my microphone feel jealous.
Oh, yeah.
Microphone envy.
Microphone envy.
It's big and wonderful.
It's okay. My microphone does the job, sir. My microphone is doing the job.
It doesn't matter how big it is. It matters what you.
Yeah, definitely how you use it's the most important thing.
So
mine's very small and furry.
I'm confident you can. Oh, your microphone looks very furry, sir.
Yeah, very well.
All right. Coming to us all the way from Paris when it is still daylight. George's.
Yeah. It's 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock? Yeah, it's 2 o'clock. Very nice. It's very sunny weather today. You can even have a look outside. Very sunny.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice. All right. Well, let's hit up a couple of comments here before we get started. So we got hi, honey bunny. Oh, wait. Hey, it's Burbex. Come on, man. So, all right. We have Lucy is in the house. Good morning or evening. It's mostly evening unless you're in Paris, in which case it's the afternoon. Definitely.
Where is Lucy? Where is she?
I think Lucy may be in Canada or Washington State. I'm not sure. But we're going to go ahead and throw this on the bottom here just for giggles and what else here. So, guys, definitely, you in the audience, we appreciate you guys joining. If you have a question, hit us up anytime. Of course, we are going to give priority to Super Chats. Wink, wink, nod, nod. But today we are talking about interracial relationships. So one marriage, one relationship, two cultures. So let's just take this off. I want to give you guys a couple of stats off the beginning here. Interracial marriage in my country, the USA, was not legal until 1967. And that's right. Now, since then, it's gone up 2%, then 8% every year. Now they say 15% of all new marriages in the United States alone are interracial marriages. A couple interesting stats on that is, according to the Education Resource Information Center, or ERIC, they say couples of mixed relations or mixed races, have a significantly lower divorce rate than couples of the same race. So kind of interesting there. So let's go around the panel here. Georges, tell us about your significant other.
What do you want to know?
Well, I mean, I know you're French, so which means you have the most awesome accent, and without a doubt, at least 2 French baguette breads somewhere within your reach right now. I know French law says you have to have that there.
But George's gluten-free diet, right?
Absolutely.
No, in fact, these days, no, I don't do the diet anymore. I'm eating everything I want. No, I met my wife in China. So we met in China. So she's Chinese, from mainland Chinese, and I've been with her ever since. So that's we met. When did we meet? Maybe I think in year 2006 we met. 2006.
All right.
Time, yeah.
So your wife is Chinese. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to the details here. Let's go to Burbex. Bryn, you, sir, are British for the most part. Although you've been in China long enough, we can give you an honorary Chinese honorific there.
Yeah. But actually, my girlfriend is Czech. So I have a Czech girlfriend. And she comes from Silesia, which is the eastern part, very close to Poland. And we've been together about almost 2 years now. And there's a lot of like you just talked about interracial, right? But I wonder sometimes what interracial means. So maybe that's something we can discuss today.
Okay.
As well.
We'll get back to that. Now, my question, of course, when you say your girlfriend is Czech, is that like girlfriend Czech?
I think there's like a tumbleweed rolling through the studio right now, right?
Absolutely, at least a couple there. Yeah. So
all the Czech jokes are gone already.
There you go. So let's go to Kung Fu Adam. Kung Fu Adam hails from the great state of Utah in the US of A.
That's right.
So tell us about your significant other.
Well, I am married to a Chinese girl from the Shanghai province. We've been married now since 2013. We met in 2009, and she's a great girl. She's actually going to be coming home from work soon. She's an educator, a principal at a school here. So, there's a lot to talk about. I wanted to just kind of say, like, your stat that about how multicultural divorces or multicultural marriages end up in less divorce. I think that could be partially due to the fact that people who marry that are multicultural kind of understand there's going to be a lot of differences, and maybe people that are in the same culture don't understand that there are going to be these kind of differences. So maybe they go into it understanding that there's going to be differences. So just an idea on that.
So basically, people who get into a multicultural relationship may have an idea that, they need to communicate a little more, and therefore things work out a little more.
Possibly. I think
possibly.
Maybe they even crave that. Maybe they want something different. I mean, one of the reasons I go to other countries, and I've lived in other countries so long, is that I want a different lifestyle. I want to experience a different culture. I wonder about people in the chat group as well, though. I mean, we've got like Ashley, Germanis Files, Snowdrugs, John SS. Jane, Dion, Lucy, Dale Phillips, are they also in multi-racial relationships?
That is a great question. If you are in a multi-race relationship, marriage, dating, or just like to wink at them occasionally, tell us in the comments. We'd love to hear it. So we have Dale Phillip, In the Sky with Diamonds.
In the Sky with
Lucy
Diamonds,
says
I like
she's
it.
in Washington State, which I think technically is Canada, mostly. So Dale
Only on the island.
says he's in multi-relationships. Now, does that mean you have more than one boyfriend or girlfriend? So
It's got to be it.
Yeah.
So I have captured a lot of flag. Okay, there we go. So let's take the last person, Bunny. So, can you tell us about your significant other?
Oh, that was a cat. My significant is actually he owns a cat. He's a little bit big. He likes cheese, and he's a guy who actually right now hosting this show.
Sounds interesting. So
And
I
he
think
seems
I
like
think
he
I'll
bought a
like
new
this guy.
clock. He seems like he bought a new clock, and I don't know that. Under the screen. How much is the clock?
So this Jod guy in chat, he said he's an American married to a Chinese lady from Xi'an. My wife is basically from Xi'an as well, so pretty similar to that guy. That's
I'm from
pretty
Hong
cool.
Kong.
So I'm an American. I'm married to a Chinese lady from Xi'an. There you go. What's this? There's a good theory to fame around the lower divorce rate in relationship cut marriages, coming to a relationship, aware of the differences, and being ready to work at. Absolutely. I like that. So Lucy says, I'm single, but I'm not too excited about American men.
Oh my God.
What kind of men are exciting? What kind of men are exciting? Come on.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Let's kick this off here. So let's talk about your significant other. I want to know how you met her and what attracted you to her. Let's start off with George's.
How did we meet? We met in a KTV.
You married a KTV girl.
What were you singing, George? What was the song?
There were not so many. I don't remember exactly because I was drunk. I was drunk on that day. So I was drinking a lot, and I saw a girl. Wow, she's cute, and she picked me up. In the KTV. No. I don't know what really happened.
She picked you up. So I'm guessing you don't weigh a lot.
Yeah. She saw me. She saw a foreigner, and she said, "Wow, I'm American. I need a visa." That's my chance.
Wow.
That's the chance of my life. And after she didn't, because that was in Shanghai, and there are not so many French people, so she didn't know. She couldn't know that the accent was French. So that's probably an American.
Nice. What kind of KTV? Was this one of those?
There's not a lot of different kinds.
That was the KTV.
Well, you have
normal type, normal KTV.
Normal type. This is one of those things where you have your KTV and you have your KTV.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So Burbex, tell us about how you met your significant other and what attracted you to her.
Well, how did we meet? This is a very romantic story. There was a free boat trip, a free cruise in Chongqing to the Three Gorges Dam. Somebody just made a joke about Three Georges Dam. Very funny.
Nice.
But we were on this boat trip, and basically we kind of just came into this orbit around each other, and she was just gorgeous, and she smelled great, and I was me, and we just kind of came together, and we stuck together, and it's like pieces in a jigsaw puzzle. I think we just kind of got on really well, and I think because we're both in China, we both lived in China quite a long time. we have this background of actually being quite passionate about China. That was something we had in common as well. So maybe something that's different for, like maybe Adam and George and you, Snark, is that you're here with Chinese ladies in China. Well, not you, George, you're in France right now. But I'm here with my Czech girlfriend living in China. So it's like a ménage à trois, a love triangle of three cultures, like Chinese, British, and Czech culture. Right? George, do you like that phrase? Ménage à trois. That's a good one. Right?
It's a good one.
So Burbex, did your girlfriend pick you up like George's girl did?
I think we picked each other up.
Picked each other up.
We tried to pick each other up.
Physically possible.
Yeah, scales and balances, things like
Hey,
that.
Snarky, can Bunny pick you up?
It depends on what tools I can use, right?
Did you pick me up, Bunny?
I can pick your hand up, okay?
She often says that she has to carry me. She can carry me for about a half a second, and that's about it.
All right, well, that's
Nice.
success then.
So, Adam, tell us about how you met your significant other and what attracted you to her.
Well, first of all, she's a lot prettier than I am, so that's
It's impossible, Adam. You're so pretty.
No, I wanted to learn Chinese, living in China. So I went to a local university and I said, hey, you teach me Chinese and I'll do a class or something for you guys. So I'll teach you guys English. And it was actually a teacher's college. So they thought that was a really good idea. So first day on the job, first day of me going to teach, my teacher's assistant walks in and it's my future wife. And she's just really cute and really, really sweet, very kind. She walked me to the taxi when I left the class at the end. And, along the way, we were bumping hands and just very friendly, right off the bat. So that was pretty much it. We were done.
I know it's going to sound like a double entendre, but my speaker just hiccuped. I heard you said that you two bumped something, but I wasn't sure quite what.
we kind of bumped wrists a little bit, so yeah.
That came later. That came later.
Yeah.
All right.
That did.
Don't ask me. You answer it.
So Bunny, how did we meet?
You answer it. Be careful.
Be careful.
You answer
So that's why I was asking you to ask. So I'm gonna get so much trouble at the end of the stream. I think
we got some multicultural stuff going on right now.
We do.
So
actually we met online and we talked for a while. And after a while we were gonna meet. I was living in Dongguan, she was living in Hong Kong, so we met in the middle in Shenzhen. And I was real classy, so I took her out to a toilet-themed restaurant. Yes, I took her out to a toilet-themed restaurant, and then we apparently I was doing something right because we still went for a walk afterwards, and I'm thinking, this girl is amazing, she's beautiful, but you don't want to kiss a girl on the first date, and then she kissed me.
No.
So
nice.
Yes. And
way to go, Bunny.
I can tell you immediately after that, I know you're not supposed to say I love you, but I wanted to say it right then because I knew in my heart I love this woman. She's amazing. So
I have the magic. I will add the poison into the food.
So let's get on to the rest. Let's take a couple of comments here. Yes, true story, of course.
True story.
True story. So Lucy's like, the smell thing is so important. Not a good story. I totally get the trifecta effect. So, of course, that could yes. So did you smell her? Did she smell you, Bryn?
I think it was a combination of both. We were like dogs smelling each other's butts.
Are you sure you don't smell each other in the toilet, right?
No. Actually, Snark, you said the toilet restaurant. Is that the one where you eat like food from the toilet bowl?
No. That's one of those themed restaurants where like you're sitting on a toilet and they set like the ice cream on the table. That's like the chocolate
It looks like a
swirl,
poop, right?
and
Can
it's all supposed to look like like poo.
That is
Yeah.
your day a girl to go to a toilet restaurant, sit on the toilet and eat on the toilet.
That's gross.
So, yep.
Yes, that's
So having a date on the John, El Craparino. What could be more romantic, right?
Not a lot,
So-
really.
It's not at all.
So is there any differences in the way you dated someone from another culture? I want to go right to Bryn on this. Is there any differences in the way
I'm
you
gonna
dated
ask this first.
someone from another culture?
You mean specifically my girlfriend right now?
That if your girlfriend's watching, that would be a good answer.
Well, I think the big difference is the way that we drink, maybe. I kind of anticipated that we would move on to talking about booze because in Czech Republic, Czechs are actually the largest, they drink the most beer in all of Europe, right? By a long way. And if you want to go out with a Czech girl, you want to be in a relationship with a Czech girl, you've got to know how to drink. And actually, I have put on quite a bit of weight. I have to do more exercise now. Like I have to do more like sit-ups and push-ups just to keep the beer weight off because I drink a lot more beer than before. And actually, it's not just like the beer as well. I brought this is, we have this in the fridge. This is like 70% Czech absinthe. Maybe I'll drink some of those during the broadcast. And one of the things is that I've actually had to increase my ability to drink because it can be pretty tough. But if you can drink with a Czech girl, then it just shows that you're passionate about her and that you're a good match. So I'm having to catch up. And now I think I drink a little bit more than her. So that's kind of working out. Not as Jesus, but in the Czech Republic, I drank so much. So if you're going on a date with a Czech girl, make sure you can drink and have a meal first as well. Yeah, Master Q is saying because drinking beer is foreign to a Brit. But Master Q, the Czech beer is much better, much stronger, much purer. Yeah, I think I'm sold.
Well, the one thing you got to be careful is if you drink too much with a Czech girl, you might get a bounce check.
Oh, where's the bin? I think I need to vomit.
That was a terrible one. Was that was just awful.
Just don't drop the check off at the side of the road.
So let's go right now to Kung Fu Adam. Is there any differences in the way you guys were dating as a result of being an interracial couple?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's down to the very basic level. You date someone that is if I dated someone that was an American, they would understand a lot of the same things I went through when I was young. That they would have watched the same television shows, played the same games, and really had the same cultural experiences growing up. Whereas my wife had completely different cultural experiences growing up. So we had to learn about how that created the person that is today. And so there's a lot of work that you have to kind of go into with my wife. There was a lot of work we had to go into to learn about each other and to learn why we do the things that we do and what we were and how that created who we are today. So it's really it's quite different in terms of just there's a lot of information that you need to kind of figure out that that basically is inherent when you date someone that is from your own culture, from your own country.
True story. So let's go to Paris, where it's still daylight. Georgia, was there any? Of course, after you met an incredibly strong girl who could pick you up, of course. Was there any differences in the way you guys were dating because you were from two different cultures?
The main aspect to me, it's the language. The language is very difficult because sometimes she would she wouldn't understand me, or she would you say this, no, I didn't say that, and then they start. We just had some issue because of the language, and this lasted for years. Like I don't have any. I cannot illustrate. I don't think about anything to say about it. But she would say a word and she say, hey, why did you say this? I never say that, And this makes the relation very difficult. And I think this is the base, the language. Like there is maybe the word or the sentence has a different meaning, and then this will create some trouble, between the two of us. So that's the main issue that we had. And then the other thing is the Chinese pride. So I would say, everyone is proud of his identity, but my wife, she's very proud to be Chinese. So if I ever start to complain, I'll say, oh, look, it's dirty, and then she'll say, no, it's not dirty. It's the same in France. Or look, no, it's better than. And she would try to. She would feel like I'm attacking her, but in fact, I'm not attacking her. Just like sharing my mind, Like in France, people will be very open. They will like, they don't. Of course, you can say something. Oh, there's dog poop everywhere in Paris. Okay, yeah, that's true. You can say, I don't know,
everywhere.
Many things you can say about it. I will accept it. Maybe I'm not so happy, but say, yeah, that's right. Okay, but in China with my Chinese wife, she will be like, no, why you're against China? Why you're against me?
Nice.
So that's the two aspects. But for the rest, no, I think for the rest is like. I think it also has to do with the individual, maybe the personality, your own personality. It has to do with the personality. Are you willing to accept the other one? And even you are with a French girl, then maybe the personality doesn't match, or you always have issues. No matter where. Even you share this, you have the same nationality, the same culture, then you always have issues. So.
True story. So, all right. Seems like Burbex is taking a quick break there.
Uh-oh.
So, while he's taking a break, let's go to the most pretty girl on the panel. So,
thanks. Oh, wait, that's not me.
So
I agree. No, I agree. I just thought he would pick me.
One is actually the food. I like the chicken feet. I like the internal organ, but someone hates. Again, I like the durian. He like the cheese. I hate the cheese. He hate the durian. Okay. The second thing, I guess, like some night practice. He loves to take shower in the morning. I think shower should be taken in the night. So this is like we get clean to go to the bed.
Yes.
Yeah, he get out from the bed and he go shower. Okay. And then last thing is about a joke. He make the American joke to me. He told me about American joke. We're like, huh? What are you talking about? And he doesn't like it. He was just like that. So when I told him about like Cantonese joke, it's like, sir, that is so when you make a joke, no one in the home actually will understand what the joke is about. It's like, okay, bye. That's all.
there we have it.
I love the shower thing.
All right, Bryn is back. All right, let's jump to a few comments here.
Yeah, it's what you said, Danny, is right. I think it has to do with Chinese foreigner couple, because for me, I had the same issue at first. Like at first, I didn't know as much about Chinese cultures and say, she's eating chicken feet. Bleh. Or durian, it really smells bad. Why did you put this here? All the apartments smell bad. And for the shower is the same too. But maybe as a white guy, then my body smell is as a French guy, my body smell is too strong. So I have to take the shower in the morning. But I think most French people, they will take the shower in the morning. So and in China they always take it in the evening. Always take it in the evening. In France, maybe you will take in the morning and in the evening. You have to do both. I think most people would do both. But Chinese, it's easier for them. They don't sweat so much, or they don't smell so much. It's just like I don't know.
So
I know as a big guy, I got to shower at both times. To be honest with you,
you got you
shower. There's no showering once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As far as durian, by the way, I used to hate it. but now I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining. Yeah.
Yep. JK said yes to durian.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's not as bad as you think.
Between Snarky and I, we don't, let's say he likes cheese, he loves cheese, and I hate it. So just, okay, he eat it. I would just stand away from it. The same thing as I eat the durian, he just stand away from it. So the lie is, I don't force him to do something he doesn't like it. He doesn't force me to do something I don't like it. I guess the only thing about the gap is that I think it's mostly on the joke or maybe the cultural stuff that actually Adam mentioned about. He talked something. I don't have a background. I don't understand what he talked.
Well, I think I've got a big difference there because my girlfriend is Czech, and there's a lot of Czech foods that I've got to kind of get used to, and I might say, oh, this is good. Like she's an amazing cook, and she'll make all these foods, and some of the foods I love, some of the foods I like, and some of the foods I don't like so much. But it doesn't matter if I like it, middle, or hate it. I have to eat everything, right? And this doesn't just apply to my girlfriend. It's like my girlfriend's mother as well. If she cooks something for me, everything must be eaten, right? And like if it's breakfast time and I'm drinking coffee and sliver bits, which is like plum brandy for breakfast, it must be drunk. So I have no choice. So everything's kind of forced on me. But I'm fine with that. I'm supple. But Lucy was just asking about the absinthe, right? And she wants to know how to drink it. Can I just take like 1 minute to show the method to drink that? Is that okay?
Go for it.
Okay. So we're going to take the glass. Hold on, I can put this down a bit. We're going to take the glass and we're going to put a little bit of absinthe in the glass.
We're going to see if he has pants on or not.
I don't.
Yeah.
Then you can see I've got some sugar in a spoon there. I don't know if you can see that. And we're going to take some of that sugar.
It's sugar.
And we put it there, right? Now I'm going to take my cigarette lighter and set it on fire. And maybe you can or you can't see that, but that's actually burning right now. We're going to let it dissolve a little bit.
Oh.
And then we mix it in there. It's not bloody hot. Give it a... Oh, shit, it's on fire. And then...
Then burn the house.
Go figure, alcohol's, something
that takes a little bit of the edge off the... It's a very, very bitter flavor. I think it's made from wormwood. And this just makes it a little bit sweeter.
You came at the right time, Simon.
There you go.
Oh.
There you go. So, all right. There we have there we go. Thank you, Stray Guy. Stray Guy with a $2 at I think Australian. What's the strangest junk food you ate in China? Anyone want to take this one?
There's a video on that coming soon.
So, anybody want to answer? What's the strangest junk food you've eaten in China?
The strangest junk food? Well, I don't even know what it was, so I can't really say what it was. But it was it wasn't jelly, but it was basically there was this big, huge thing of gelatin-like something in Yunnan, and they basically took a scraper and it created noodles, but they weren't noodles. And then they cut it up, and then they put yak cheese on top, and then a bunch of spices. I still don't have a clue what it was, but it was really weird.
You had me at yak cheese, sir. You had me at yak cheese. Definitely.
I think sometimes you get like the kebabs, and this was in Changchun in the north. This is quite a common one. They'd have like a kebab skewer, and they would take maybe like 5 or 6 baby partridges in Chinese. I think that's a Gerza. Anchuan in Chinese, Anchuan. 5 or 6 of these little ones, and then they put the skewer right through it, and then you're just supposed to eat it all. And it's very, very crunchy because you're crunching the bones. Yeah. And you get it stuck between your teeth as well. But Bunny, have you eaten that before? Have you eaten like baby chuan char? No?
No. You see my face, right? I cannot. I cannot.
It's not tasty. Not
They
really.
have
I
that
cannot
dish in
stand for
Dongguan,
that.
in Guangdong, but it's outlawed now.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
outlawed in Guangdong?
They had that dish was available in Guangdong, but it was outlawed like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. I think because it's wildlife, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's little birds. I
So-
did eat.
John SS says he just subscribed to Kung Fu Imaging.
Awesome.
Good job, John.
Awesome.
But I did eat bamboo, but it was cut into strips and then dried, so it was like a potato chip, but it was bamboo. That was pretty fun.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
The spirit that I had in Guangdong before, and it was right in the countryside, and they had this vat full of baijiu. Well, there were 2 vats of baijiu, and one vat had tarantulas in it, like big hairy spiders in it, and the other one had baby mice at the bottom of it. And of course, when you ask the vendor, well, why would I drink this? And they say, makes a man strong. Makes a man. This is the body language they use. Makes a man strong. Like that. But I think I'll stick to the ad.
So Burbex, if you and your girlfriend are all sharing with somebody else, would you say that would be a third party check?
Ta-ting!
I think I need to check out of here. Yeah, endless jokes.
So let's take a couple of comments here. We'll move on. So Lucy's like, Bunny's face. Nice. So she's like, nah, dude, nah. So Simon Barnes looks that setup looks nice, man. There we go. And yes. Let's see. Oh, yes. Lucy is talking about tarantula or a big scorpion. So she likes the fried baby scorpion.
It gets stuck in the teeth, though. Centipede as well. It gets caught in the teeth.
I had that in Wang Fujing Street in Beijing in 2009. It was quite an experience.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried baby scorpion, Georges?
Yeah. I think I don't think these are really food that Chinese people eat quite often. It's more like tourists. Maybe they put on the sticks and then they just fry them. I tried it once, but it's like there's no taste. It's like you just chewing some fried, fried insect or something.
Burnt chicken skin or something.
The silkworm. I tried the silkworm. I think you probably tried it also. And in fact, I like it. I mean, it's just disgusting just because you know it's silkworm, but when it's like juicy inside and they fried it and it's not bad. But the dog meat I tried a few times, but I didn't know that was dog. So at the time I was like, that's good, huh? And after, didn't know that was dog. then you see the caged dog. You see the caged dog outside of the restaurant.
George,
the worst thing I got was worms inside, real worms, very small worms. And that was really awful. Like you're drinking the soups and there's these small, like white worms inside, and you're
sure those weren't maggots, right?
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, that's what it sounds like, right? Little white worms floating around.
I don't know. That was the first time I went to China, so it was in 2003, near 2003, and I was there just there at summertime, and I think at the time it was really poor. So some places that was crazy. I mean, people, you could see they didn't have good food, and they had this soup, and I start drinking, then I look at it, and it's like, small worms inside. Like, and they put it there on purpose, it's like, let's give you a bit meat there.
Can I ask a question to George? So
yes, go for it.
We've been talking about like maybe George's and Adam's and Bunny's and yours experiences in China, but what about for maybe your partners going to other countries? For example, George, your wife is in France right now, I guess.
Yeah.
Is there anything that she finds strange there? Any weird food or weird experiences?
Yeah, for her, what you were telling before is also to adapt to the family, and that's what is difficult, I would say, because my parents, there was always issue with my parents, like the family-in-law, the parents-in-law. You know, they will always have expectation that she behave in a specific way, and so my mother say, "Oh, how can you dress this way? You look like a prostitute. Why do you wear this dress? Oh, wow, you can see are you crazy? Or oh, why don't you go and shave your hair? Your hair."
Talking to you, right?
You know, and they will be very, very harsh with her. So it's like, yeah, that's the biggest issue that she has here. Otherwise, no, that's. I think people are rather nice, and this happened to her also. Yeah, the two things that happened to her is she didn't have so many issues here, but there is one old French guy who saw her once on the streets and tried to pick her up. He thought this was like an Asian Chinese prostitute or something in Paris. So this happened to her once, so that's not very nice. And another time, she was with my father, and my father is old. And some woman walk nearby, and then they stare at them, and they stare at my father and say, "Disgusting." You know, she was thinking like she doesn't know like my father and my wife, and she just assumed like another old French man who is like dating a young.
Nice.
We had kind of fun. Like I brought my wife back to the States twice, and the first time it was really funny. We spent the time trying to find food that was too big because, you know, she saw like the first thing we went to eat was at a Mexican restaurant, and the plates were like really big, and she just was in awe of it all. Like, that's so big. And so we spent the rest of the time trying to find really big food to eat and taking pictures to just have a little bit of fun. We have one picture where she had a big gulp, and she held it out a little bit like this, so it was a little larger, but it looks like it's like the size of her upper torso. It's awesome.
Nice. Nice. So sometimes when I fix some sort of American foods, Bunny gives me kind of a look. What about some of the foods I fix, Bunny?
The stew, right? The stew.
Yeah, I made the soup for you, and I made the cheeseburger rice the other day.
Oh, that was sucks.
What
You know what? He suggested yesterday. He suggested me when I.
When I made that, she didn't at that time. She's like, "Well, it's not my favorite," and now it sucks.
Well, how about changes that our relationships go through as well? You know, when we first start the relationship to maybe now further down the road, what things changed? Like I know that my wife, when we first met, she hated whenever I wanted to put ice in my drink, but now she'll eat a piece of ice just by itself. How about you guys? Do you guys have any other similar differences between when you first started and now?
Now he avoids cold drink, right? He avoids cold drink. He would drink the water in the room temperature. So I guess it's like something that he has no choices. It's not about he changes, it's about he has no choices because either he has to make it himself or he just follow my practice.
Oh, of course I follow the practice. Of course.
I guess it's the things, right? Like, for example, like talk about who cook. It's just not about like, oh, men like to cook more or women like to cook more. It's actually who care about food more has to cook more. So I to be honest, I don't like let's say the stew, right? Or the things with too much cheese. That's why I almost dominate the kitchen. I don't always make Chinese food. I just make whatever I can learn from online. So he most likely follow my habit. The only challenge that I had yesterday is he doesn't like fish, or he hates fish. So he suggests me that I can make some fish to him, provided that I add cheese on top of the fish.
Cheesy fish.
I don't
so
know.
I told my mom is
that makes it more palatable.
Yeah. Right?
That's fair. I'm down with that. I'm down. I agree with that.
JK is talking about salad, right? And this was actually an issue for me when I first got together with my Czech girlfriend because I love to eat salad. I mean, I genuinely love lettuce. And I love rocket and rucola and all kinds of lettuce. And she didn't recognize this as being a food because Czech people love heavy, meaty foods. And, like it's only maybe women, young girls that eat lettuce in the Czech Republic. And so she would order, like beefy, meaty potatoes, gravy, all of this. And I would order a Caesar salad because I genuinely love Caesar salads. But now there's this shift going on where she's actually started to develop a taste for lettuce and ricola as well. So it's kind of balancing out a little bit, but it must have a lot of meaty bits in it. Yeah. I've got meaty bits. Yeah.
I guess
meaty.
salad to us is fine because we green vegetables we add salad. But the only thing is like sometimes so we get carrots, the small carrots at home, or actually the cucumber at home, and he will just take it out from the fridge and eat it like this.
They're wonderful that way. Baby carrots, come on. Those are awesome. Throw in some ranch dressing, you're good to go.
Carrots, yeah.
No, just take it from the fridge and bite it. Yeah, that is something I feel like where I was like, because to us, like, it is the veggie that we have to cook it. And then to him, it's a fruit. He cannot just take it with it. Bite.
Nice. Let's go to a couple of comments here. John says, I get along great with my Chinese family.
Ooh, that's a big
awesome
one. That's a big one. You know what I mean?
My mom loved him.
Families are so important.
Yeah.
I'm not married to mine, but in our 3 years together, it's been a long, slow, drawn-out process, proving their misconceptions wrong before warming up to me. There you go. So nice. Let's see.
The family is
Freya says, I would rather eat a crunchy thing than a furry thing. Well, we are talking about relationships, so trust me, eating the furry thing comes later. So let's see. Okay. Yes. So Snark, my parents are Serbian German. I get you the heavy food. It's heavy. There we go.
A lot of heavy food.
So Americans love the raw vegetables. True story.
Mm-hmm.
True story.
We'll take it.
So
cook me a baked potato and I'm happy too.
What?
So the furry thing comes later. True story. So I have recently been informed by some of my students they have a drinking game now every time I say true story. So
is that a true story?
True story. Okay.
They're drunk
and
now. Good job.
So, okay, let's move on. In your relationship, what languages do you guys normally speak in the house? Let's go to Burbex. What language do you guys normally speak?
We mostly speak English or Chinese. Actually, we speak a lot of Chinese with each other because we both speak good Chinese. So it's like we have kind of a bilingual relationship, but it's not her native language because Czech is notoriously difficult. I'll like use swear words in Czech. Like there's a word I use almost every day, which is píča kurva, which means like, I think it means like mother. Can I swear on this, Snarky?
There you go.
It means
Why
like
not?
In Czech. So I often say píča kurva. And Ježíš Maria means like Jesus, Mary, Joseph. So I say that a lot. So it's just like little bits of Czech. But I think that once I actually go and live in Czech Republic, I will start picking up more. But Czech is a very difficult language. There's a sound in it with this. So, for example, Reka is a river, for example, and it took me a long time to get that sound. George, can you make that sound too, George?
Yeah.
I think George could probably make that sound.
Yeah.
Kurva or Kurva?
No, Kurva. Yeah, Kurva. You got it. You got it.
So all I know is that Czech sounds like it's a language way outside of my country or state, which probably I can make a out-of-state Czech joke.
Oh
no!
I know.
They just keep coming.
The dad jokes keep coming. I know. So, George's, what language do you guys speak in your house?
For me, I would say it's always kind of an arm wrestle. You're like, me and my wife. And I think it's the problem with relation. Like, I have my belief and she has her belief, and I know I'm right, but she thinks she's right, so it's kind of an arm wrestle. And the language for everything.
I will tell you, George, from experience, the lady's always right. We have two rules in our household. Rule number 1, Bunny's always right. And rule 2, when I'm confused, I should refer to rule number 1. So, did I get that right?
You know that, right?
I know it. So, all right. So, Adam, what language do you guys speak in your house between you and your honey?
Come join. My wife just got home. We speak English most of the time because she speaks really good English. Say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi.
So yeah, she just got off work. So hey, babe.
Oh, sorry.
The only time that she speaks Chinese to me is when she's angry at me and wants me to speak Chinese back to her.
Nice. Look at that big smile. But Bunny can definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, if you can. Are you asking which language we speak? I have no choice, right?
When she gets upset, sometimes she goes right to Chinese or so.
No, when I get upset, I will speak the English that no one understands.
Oh, I understand. I understand all too well. So she gets mad.
Words are not necessary.
That was not English. That was the Cantonese. That was the Chinese, like blah 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 blah. Actually, I think he only get the word like keywords like I and then the verb, and then the end of the sentence. That's all.
Oh, there we go. Snarky will have a good night later. She's in Hong Kong. It's so.
You still can have a good night later, okay?
True.
You have your two hands.
Adams, what? Oh man, no, you did. She didn't just go there, did she?
No, one to slap your left face, one to slap your right face.
So, Irish nature just said is when you get angry, it's hard to express yourself in another language.
Yes.
But actually, I find the opposite. When I'm speaking Chinese, for example, I find it much, much easier to communicate when I'm angry.
Why?
I can let out this inner flow. There's like this northeastern man inside me, and when he comes out, I can just express myself really nicely. And I think it intimidates people in Shanghai when I talk like that. So sometimes I use it, like on Kuai drivers, for example, like delivery drivers, if they're late or fences. But it's scary for Shanghai people. Shanghai people are too soft.
To me, it's difficult because actually Cantonese, they have a lot of variety of language. The word they can actually go at the people like blah 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 different way. But then when I want to convert it to English, I found, oh my god, there's no way to convert. I cannot match a word. And then what can I say? If I say those Cantonese, he won't understand. So it's like, okay, fine.
Let's go to a couple comments here. Let's see. John says, my wife gets her point very well in English when she's mad. True story. Got a question for George's here. George's, what's the thing you like the most about your wife?
I don't know, her body or no.
At least he's honest.
She's a very honest woman. She cooks very well.
You're a very honest man.
Yep.
No, I like it.
I hope you like that body, especially since she can pick you up, right?
Come on. About language, I want to say, at first when we met with my wife, we always speak in English, and whenever we quarrel, it's very difficult for her because her English is not as good as mine, so she never wins. So she's always pissed because I can find the right words, and she's like, oh, she's out of word, and she cannot express herself,
And you think you won the argument, but you really haven't.
But when you have kids, it's very important. We always try to speak English because we're thinking, okay, the kid will be able to speak 3 languages, French, English, Chinese. But then my wife dropped it. So it's often like we managed to, now we speak French all the time because we are in France. She speaks French. She works, when she works, she speaks French. And for her, she was tired to speak English, French, Chinese. It's too difficult. But I always tell her, why did we stop speaking English? That was perfect. The kid could speak 3 languages, after. So that's also something. But I would say it's like arm wrestle. If it's my language that wins, it's like my culture will win. My identity will win, Okay.
Nice. So, okay, guys, we're going to try to wrap this up here. As far as your, how did your significant other's culture accept you, or did they? Let's go right to Bunny on this. How did you feel my family accepted you?
Your family or my family accept you?
My family.
Oh, your family. Oh my God, they love me. I think they love me more than loving you.
That's probably true. She could literally beat me in front of them and they would still probably love her more. So
yes,
now
they will believe that it's something wrong with you instead of me.
Also true. Also true. Now I gotta say though, her family is amazing. They treat me wonderfully. When I come over, her mom is always making these foods for me, and her mom is amazing. And then when Bunny goes home, her mom's like, go find something in the refrigerator.
Yes.
You'll be okay.
I remember in one occasion in the Qingming festival, so there's some roasted pig, but Snarky cannot eat it because of some religious practice. My mom remembered, I cannot even recall it. So the next time when she comes to my mom's home, my mom already got a plate of that roasted pork for her. I was like, huh? And every time when I go back home, I ask, okay, is there any food at home I can eat? My mom just like, go to the fridge and find whatever you have. But when she comes to my mom's home, all the food is well prepared. And then my mom would keep on reminding me, okay, you microwave those for my husband. Microwave those for my husband. It's like, is me your daughter or is he your son? I don't know what happened.
Nice. So, hey, Johnny's now radio. Snarky looks like a mall cop. Now, don't make me give you a ticket, sir. So let's see. We got a couple of comments. George's Lucy wants to know: does your wife speak with a French accent in her English?
Yes. She has a French accent. Yes. She picked the accent from me, so yeah.
That's amazing. That's awesome. All right. So, So let's move on to everybody's favorite topic. Kids, the nice little ones that get bigger and bigger. When you are in a mixed relationship, mixed culture, sometimes you will have mixed kids. We're running close on time here, so let's try to keep this brief. George's, do you have any kids?
Yes, one kid.
One. So how do you feel about mixed blood kids?
How do I feel? Yeah, it's okay. No, nobody is perfect. So yeah, no, it's okay.
Nobody's perfect. Okay.
I lost my DNA. I lost my French blood.
A lot of times you can only have one passport for that kid. So, is your child have a Chinese passport or a French passport?
The both. In France, he's French, and in China, he's Chinese. Normally, you're supposed to have only one, but he has the two. I mean, I think he has to choose when he's 18 or something. But the difficult part, I would say, the only thing is I always push him toward French culture. Like I always tell him things behind my wife back. For instance, I would say, oh look, the Chinese virus. This is the virus. Then he will repeat this to people on the street. So
Nice.
I repeat this to my wife. Or what do I say? I tell him, oh, China is not a good place. Don't go to China. And after.
There we go.
Going back.
Snarky's a little emperor in Bunny's family's house. Am I a little emperor?
Yeah, the super king.
There we go.
Yeah, super king.
There we go. All right. Burbex, if you're not married yet, but should you guys get married, is there going to be any difference between having like a English and Czech child as far as passports or any concerns there?
It's probably going to have to go with the Czech passport because that's an EU passport. I think the child will be brought up by the Czech grandmother, so there'll be a lot of heavy food, maybe drinking at the age of 3 or 4. Yeah, I think Czech is a pretty good place for children to grow up. It's a very clean place. People are pretty down to earth. They're very outdoorsy people. Like they like to go to the forests. The national pastime in the Czech Republic is mushroom picking. They go crazy about mushroom picking. I'm allergic to mushrooms, which is a problem. But yeah, I think that'd be a good place to raise children.
There you go.
Yeah.
So if you are teaching your kid to drink at an early age, are you going to have to endorse that check?
Oh, again. Oh.
I know. I'm terrible. I can't help it.
Yeah.
So let's move on to Adam. As far as kids, would you have your I don't know if you guys are talking kids or not, and if I'm, if not, you need to make sure and plug your wife's ears there. But would you have them have a Chinese or a U.S. passport?
They would probably have U.S., but you know what? You never know. Chances are it would be U.S., but when the time comes, we'll look at it. Depends on what's going on in what country, right? The world is changing.
Absolutely. All right. So we've talked about this, Bunny, but so if we have a little Snarky, would
or Snark.
Snark.
Boy, that sounded a lot like a double entendre, didn't it?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
We have a wee win. Would he have a Hong Kong passport or a U.S. passport?
Actually, they can have both.
They can, yeah.
Yeah, because Hong Kong allow multiple passport holders.
There we
he
go.
can have very complicated identity, like passport. He can have if that kid was born in Hong Kong, he will have Hong Kong ID. He will also have an ID to go to China for Hong Kong people. He can also have Hong Kong passport as long as he can choose to also have American passport. The rule is about whether America allow him to have multiple passports. Not Hong Kong allow him to have multiple passports.
Absolutely.
So that is a complication.
All right, let's round this out with a couple of comments here. Johnny says, "I'm trying to work out why you're moving me." Okay, that sounds like a personal bit. Let's skip that there. No one uses check anymore in the U.S. I think. Well, unfortunately, some people still use checks. So, I'm not going to say that one. So, I had a good. I had a good double entendre there, but I'm just going to drop that one. So, nice. True story. So, all right.
Johnny asked us that Chinese twice are good at saving money.
So, yes. Simon says he got my new role as the head of English department based purely on the quantity, not quality of his puns. True story.
Oh. Hey, I want to say, Snarky, thanks for having me on today. I hope I brought something good to the conversation.
You always had something good to our conversation, sir. And although I have to say, when your wife is sitting next to you, you don't look nearly as attractive, my friend.
I told you, she's prettier than I am. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So, although looking at Burbex's eyes there, I get kind of dreamy there.
I'm a bit south.
So, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up here. As far as I'm going to give you all 30 seconds to make a final point, witty anecdote, or a bad Czech joke if need be, about interracial relationships. Let's go straight to George. George, you got 30 seconds on the clock, my friend.
So yeah, no, but it's okay. It's very good. With my wife, everything is good, and no. It's like I would say it's the same as anywhere, any relation. It doesn't change much. It's just like understand the other one, be patient, try to see what makes you happy, what makes her happy, and everything is fine. Yeah. So, and thanks a lot for having me in the show.
You are welcome, sir. You're always welcome on the show. Burbex,
Hello.
30 seconds. Give me your thoughts on interrelational relationships, or go.
I think, like Adam was saying earlier, when you're in a relationship with somebody maybe from your own country, you have the same experiences, you have the same culture, you have the same background, but and maybe that doesn't develop you much, but when you're in an interracial relationship, it kind of pushes you to use your imagination more, to maybe be a bit stronger, be a bit braver. And I think that's why I'm so kind of happy in this relationship, because it kind of expands my brain a lot and my mind a lot, my heart a lot. And it also means that I can drink as much as I like every day. So
there we have it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Adam, interracial relationships, 30 seconds.
Well, this time is pretty crazy in the world, I firmly believe that it doesn't matter what race a person is or where they're from. If you find someone that you genuinely like and they like you back, go at it. Do your best to have a good relationship and enjoy each other. And good luck.
Absolutely. All right. And Bunny, it seems like anything I'm going to ask you would seem oddly self-serving, but interrelational relationships, what's your thoughts?
Make sure that you make sure your love will love you. That's all. And the other is not important. As long as the one you love loves you so much. That's all. I'm done.
I love that smile. I love that smile. Well, I got to say for myself, I love Bunny not because she's Chinese or because her size, because she's got a wonderful heart. She's a wonderful person. She is my wife, my best friend, my secret keeper, and I could not live without her. And everything I do with her is just that much better. So, at the end of the day, whether you are married, dating someone that is in your culture, out of your culture, like anything else, they're in your heart, and I think that's what's important. So, guys, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. As always, guys,
stay frosty.
Always carry a can of sardines. You never know when you may need them. Guys, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on the Snark.
Au revoir.
Au revoir.
Hey guys.
Bye.
Bye bye.
And